Let me tell you my river story. Ever since I arrived to this country in 1979, I have been lucky to live near the river and its parklands. I was teaching at Harvard's Radcliffe seminars, and I had the landscape students design parks along the urban Charles. I realized I really wanted to physically change things, and for that I needed to form a non-profit organization. So in 2000, I wrote a letter to 100 friends, colleagues and officials describing my idea and organizing a symposium. My husband Peter sketched our logo on the back of an envelope, thus branding was all taken care of. Several of those 100 people sent some money. I hired an intern and we set up office in my daughter Severin's bedroom in Newton. The first project was to create a visual image that depicts the ribbon of blue and the ribbon of green. The map had to capture the amazing power of that public green space, that democratic common ground, as Charles Eliot called it, in the midst of a dense city. Next was to get Carl Hageland's PhD thesis on the urban Charles published. He had researched the history of this perennial battleground between transportation and recreation interests. With the MIT Press, we published Inventing the Charles River and celebrated the publication with a symposium. Around that time, the state's parks agency, it was the MDC at the time, finalized its master plan for the banks of the Charles, and they estimated it would cost several $100 million to implement. What could a brand new non-profit do to help the state implement that plan? We started recruiting landscape volunteers who would form a powerful core of people who cared. Thus, the Conservancy volunteers were launched with now well over 20,000 participants. From the beginning, there were two big ideas I wanted to realize. Swimming in the Charles was one of them, and the other was building a skate park. After all, my youngest son Reynolds is a skateboarder. I am so glad I did not know about the challenges of working with so many different agencies and the toxic soil we would encounter. But 12 park commissioners later, $1 million in legal fees, all donated by Wilmer Hale, and more than $5 million in design and construction cost, we opened with 2,000 people at the event. That was a very happy day for the skaters, the Conservancy, and for me. If you have not seen the Lynch family skate park under the Zakim Bridge, go and visit, and you will also discover the beautiful North Point Park. This new park, where Cambridge used to recycle trash, is part of a $100 million mitigation of the impacts of the Big Dig. It is just downriver from the Museum of Science that we now plan to build a swim park. Urban river swimming has been a long tradition in Switzerland and in my family. We love swimming in the Rhine and in the Arc. Another family tradition of mine has been watercoloring, and so I tried to express my love for this river with my brushes, and then invited real experts to create beautiful watercolors and narratives that resulted in 3 volumes of river stories. Well, I could tell you all about bridge illuminations, bike paths, underpasses, Sunday games, and advocacy efforts like Mass DOT's I-90. Or you can watch some of the over 100 Conservancy TV shows now on YouTube. Many of my CCTV guests are here tonight. But the reason we are in this space tonight is because since I arrived in the US about 40 years ago, I have attended Christmas revels at Sander Theatre, and I fell in love with the revels' way of celebrating. I wanted to bring the revels and their magic to the Charles. So in 2004, we started River Sing, now a yearly tradition around the autumnal equinox and enjoyed by thousands. This is a great celebration, but all the work we did over the past 18 years would not have been possible without you all. What a dedicated group of people who are now helping the Charles River Conservancy to become even stronger, making our parklands more active, more attractive, and more accessible. Thank you for all your support over the past 18 years. I am so grateful and filled with confidence for the future of the Charles River Conservancy.